On today's episode, hate it, love it, we're gonna spoil it. It's our Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Spoilercast special.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Comics Relaunched. And this one is a bit of a special one because, well, it's not the normal kind of gist of it all. We are getting into a big thing. It's going to be our second Spoilercast, as it were.
2 years later.
Yeah. And this one is going to be on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So this show.
So I'm Jake Archer.
Yes, and I'm Aaron Fowler, and this show could probably. It's got one of two ways of going, really. It can either go quite short or it could go quite long.
Yeah. Well, the main reason we're doing this is, one, I haven't really kept up with the news the last few weeks. And when I went to go through the news, there was barely anything. So I thought, screw it, let's do Guardians. Because, it was good.
It was good. So if you're just looking for kind of a review on it, there you go. It's good. See you later.
It's good. Good, yeah, that's our spoiler-free review. It's good. You wait until we get later. We're going to spoil everything.
Indeed
Spoil everything. We'll do what we usually do to start with. We'll talk about some other stuff. And I'll throw in I've got a couple of pieces of news that we'll talk about that are quite important.
Okay, cool.
But otherwise, it's going to be very Guardians-heavy. It's going to be a little bit of Guardians in the first bit, and there'll be a little bit of Guardians in the last bit. Because there's been a lot of Guardians comics recently.
Yeah, they've been releasing them a lot.
So, yeah. So, as we always start, what we've been reading, what we've been watching, what we've been playing.
Indeed. I think the major one for me right now, one or two, Action Comics, because the reinvention of the Superman mythology is just awesome.
Those two issues were just brilliant. Like, those two issues that just sort of re-cemented, this is his origin. Let's go with it. I think the last episode we did was just before that issue came out. The first one?
Yes, it was.
We were about to talk, because I mentioned on the podcast that Bleeding Cool had spoiled a load of stuff about how they're changing the universe. So just to give you a quick rundown, the New 52 never happened. It did, it didn't. So you had they've just sort of streamlined everything.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that instead of trying to really complicate things, it was just they kind of went with the New 52. If it was a very, very new thing added to it, it was just like that was their grittier time.
Yeah, like Superman's done everything. Like everything that Superman's done, he's done. Like he died, he came back, he disappeared when Lois had a kid, and then he came back in a new suit. That was the New 52 period.
Yeah. Then
he went away again, and then he came back as the Lois and Clark Superman. That's how they've organised it. But the Superman stuff's not the only thing that they've been doing. Like in Blue Beetle, turns out Ted was the Blue Beetle, did all of his stuff, but instead of coming out of retirement and getting killed by Maxwell Lord, he just stayed in retirement.
So he was permanently
retired. Which made me
retired.
very happy. John Stewart's revealed that he was on the Justice League in the latest issue of Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
And in The Flash, they went to the JLA trophy room that just had everything ever in it. Which was awesome.
Now, it will be interesting to see if we will ever get a hint towards a Martian Manhunter casket. Whether he has been dead or not. He had his mantle, his original mantle, was in the JLA trophy room. Right, okay.
In that issue. But, obviously, he's got that new Stormwatch one with the pointy bits on it. It's weird.
Oh, that
Obviously,
one,
he's still not been seen since the beginning of Rebirth.
No, he's along with... Who else was there? There's not really been seen much since.
Shazam had a brief appearance in...
Yeah, Shazam's kind of gone quiet.
Hellblazer. But it seems weird that Martian Manhunter has just not been seen for the whole of Rebirth. There's got to be a reason.
Has Animal Man been seen recently?
Nah, but do people care about Animal Man?
No, I'm just thinking. It seems like...
No, he hasn't been seen.
It seems like...
And Swamp Thing was in Hellblazer. I don't know if he's been important in Hellblazer.
He's been relatively important. He's kind of been kind of like a side plot device.
I'm wondering if Mr. Oz has Martian Manhunter.
Maybe. Another threat to it all. Knows too much.
That gives a story reason for why he's not been out. Just DC's weird hatred for him.
Well, I was just thinking it might be just everyone, like most of the members of the Justice League United were just thrown away.
Yeah, we haven't seen Stargirl.
Okay.
Well, we've seen Adam Strange because he was in the Death of Hawkman stuff.
Yes.
I don't know anyone else who was in the JLE.
Supergirl, which of course we were going to see no matter what.
Was she?
Yes, she was for a time.
I thought that was the JLA 3000, the JL 3000.
Bit of both.
She was definitely 3000 because they introduced her and then they made it an all-female team.
Yeah.
And they just forgot that they were building Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
No, she was in United for a while because I remember seeing her on the covers, and then I think she just left. And then then she left for the Red Lantern saga.
Nice. But yeah, back to the original point. Action Comics is on point.
Indeed, and the up-and-comer is the Lazarus Contract.
Lazarus Contract came out this week.
Yeah.
I've not read Titans yet. You have.
I have. I've just read it. Again, keeping it relatively spoiler-free. There's not much to spoil, to be honest, in it. It's got an intriguing setup. It's going to be a very... It's nice seeing Deathstroke as a villain again.
Yeah.
That's my major excitement for this. It's Deathstroke as a villain.
Because
I'm fed up with
I've been reading the Deathstroke book over the last few days, trying to catch up before Rebirth. It's not great.
No.
It's just not very interesting.
It's because he shouldn't be
a hero.
And
they've essentially just made him Daredevil. And it's like, what? Great.
I will say, he is no longer. He can now see again.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, he now can see. But it's kind of just irritating to me of the fact that I think the Lazarus Contract doesn't bother me. It's the fact that Deathstroke has been a hero.
Well,
for
an
while.
anti-hero.
Doesn't matter. He's still been. He's not been fighting teams properly like he used to.
No.
Which bothers me. He's always been a villain, and he should be a villain. But they've just
gone,
no.
I haven't been reading a lot of DC recently. I've been reading a lot of Marvel. But not new Marvel. I've been reading a lot of early noughties Marvel, when Marvel was good.
Right.
Ish.
I was going to say, early noughties Marvel was very much like third Marvel.
I've read, in the last few weeks, I think last episode I talked about I'd been reading Astonishing X-Men.
Yeah.
And I've just moved on to Madrox. That was where I read
That was where you were, yeah.
I read New X-Men: The Academy.
Alright.
Young Avengers, the first arc of the original Young Avengers run, which was surprisingly good, especially seeing as though I hate the Young Avengers. I read the first 12 issues of Punisher Max.
Wow, you got through 12 of those things.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened. I read the first 6 issues of Amazing Fantasy, which is the Anya Corazon book, Spider-Girl. Jake Archer, read 12 issues of Cable and Deadpool.
Yeah.
That silence says it all. Read Secret War. I enjoyed Secret War. Secret War was cool. I read The Pulse, which is about Jessica Jones dealing with the Secret War, stuff about the Secret War. I read some Cap and the Falcon, and I am in the middle of a few arcs of Bendis' Daredevil.
Right.
That's when I've established, right? Bendis is good when he writes Daredevil.
Still
the original Jessica Jones. No, it's not Smart Way. The original Jessica Jones run.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He created it, after all.
Yeah.
And Ultimate Spider-Man. That's it. I've not got to New Avengers yet, so I can't really say. I'm almost there, but not quite.
The New Avengers is very good, I will say.
However, my favourite book from Marvel I've read was actually during Bendis' run.
Mm-hmm.
There was a 6-issue miniseries called Daredevil Redemption. It was not written by Bendis, and I've forgotten who wrote it. The art was by Michael Gaydos.
Right.
David Hine wrote it. This is better than all of Bendis' art that I've read. Essentially, there's barely any Daredevil in it. It's pretty much all Matt Murdock law stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he gets recruited to this town where there's been this murder of a child, and this leader of this Satanist cult has been arrested for the murder. And he's essentially building up this, and he's trying to fight this case for this kid.
Right.
And all the evidence points towards this kid, and everyone in the town is against this kid. And Daredevil's like, nah, I believe him, because obviously he's got a sense and he can tell if he's lying or not. And then it got to the end, and it's like, turns out that it wasn't him, and it was actually the dad of the child killed the child in abuse. I thought it was so good. It was really well written, and it was nice having. It was all about the law stuff and very little about Daredevil.
Yeah.
I really like that. But yeah, that was really good. I'm just trying to think if I've read any DC. Caught up with the Flintstones.
All right.
Oh, that book is golden. That is arguably the best book on the shelf at the minute. It has me laughing out loud, and comics very rarely do that. Issue 10 is a perfect comic. I don't want to go into it because it's a long story. But issue 10 is a perfect comic. Mainly just for the fact that there's a character called Werner Herzrock.
Right.
And has the line when a guy in a zebra costume says, Werner, I can't see anything. He says, and I will do it in the voice, the only obstacle in life is our own morality. And I was like, oh, that's genius. But yeah, everyone should go and read Flintstones. 12th issue's out next month, final issue. I highly recommend people go buy the collection when it comes out.
Well,
the 2 trades.
I just
Great.
saw a massive spoiler
for Stevie Wonder?
No, because he would want his eyes for this one. For the final lenticular cover of The Button.
Jay Garrick?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been revealed for a while.
But have you seen the lenticular?
The one where it's like classic Jay Garrick cover, and then he comes on, it like burns away, and he comes on it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So,
I've not been physically collecting the Button, because I'm doing that all digitally. But I have ordered this cover.
Yeah.
Because it's my main man Jay. Yeah, I was actually going to bring up the Button crossover, because I think the last episode we did, I don't think the first issue had come out. But essentially,
no.
Reborn was brilliant, right? Superman Reborn was a brilliant crossover.
Yes, it was.
The Button just elevated the game in terms of Rebirth crossovers. First issue, absolutely brilliant. Reverse Flash coming in and beating the shit out of Batman. It's always good to see Batman getting it handed to him. Reverse Flash gets killed at the end of the issue, and you're like, oh my god, Reverse Flash is dead. But I'd already read the solicitation, so I knew he was coming back. They go, Flash and Batman go back in time on the cosmic treadmill, and they travel through dimensions to the Flashpoint universe, where they bump into Flashpoint Batman. And Flashpoint Batman and Bruce are having this conversation, and there's like this white, and obviously Manhattan's caught onto the fact that they're traveling through these dimensions, and he's trying to destroy the Flashpoint universe. And then this white Flash is coming, and Barry's like, Bruce, we gotta go. And they jump on the cosmic treadmill, and as they're running, Thomas Wayne goes, son, do something for me. Don't be Batman. Be a father to your son like I never got to be to you. And I was like, oh, that was so good. And then as they're running on the cosmic treadmill, they bump into Reverse Flash as he was running, like in time, as he was running through the Speed Force towards Dr. Manhattan.
Oh.
That's where it ended. And annoyingly, Flash got delayed.
Oh, crap.
So it should have been out this week, but it's now out next week, which is really irritating. I have a feeling DC did that on purpose.
They've got to have.
Just to keep the hype going.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's worth bringing up Secret Empire issue 1 and the Free Comic Book Day special.
Right.
It's good. Like, it's well written. I still hate the direction, but I can't fault the writing. In the Free Comic Book Day special, Cap somehow manages to convince Scarlet Witch, or brainwash Scarlet Witch, into being on his team. He convinces and hacks Vision, so he joins his team.
Right.
And then right at the end, like, somehow makes Jane Foster Thor disappear.
What?
Without the hammer, and he just picks up the hammer. Like, Hydra Cap just picks up the hammer. And we knew that was going to happen a while back. The Bleeding Cool spoiled it, like they always do. So yeah, he picks up the hammer. Cut to, I don't know, they did a bit of a time jump in issue 1, and you've got a sort of Man in the High Castle style thing. Hydra's taking over. They're going on about how they've increased test scores, the economy's back on track, and Hydra's actually turning out to be a good thing. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the Champions, God knows why we're choosing to use the Champions, are driving the Fantastic Car.
No.
And they drive it into this mountain that was used by the Hulk in some book ages ago. And the Champions are being sort of trained by the Thing, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. Which makes no sense, really.
Okay.
And they've got this kid. Like, the Hydra are rounding up the Inhumans.
Okay.
And putting them in concentration camps. And they get hold of this Inhuman and they take him back to this base. And then the Inhuman goes to tell Stark AI something about it. And Stark's like, he's not my friend anymore. I'm not doing this. He's like, I don't care. He's not my friend. And he's fighting a war. But yeah, it was a really well-written issue, and it's kind of cool. The one thing I really can't get behind is Cap's little Avengers team.
Go on.
So Scarlet Witch and Vision, because he convinced them in there.
Yeah.
But also on his team is Deadpool.
What?
And the unworthy Thor.
What?
Yeah. Now usually you think, okay, so when Thor came back, he beat the shit out of Iron Man because of the Civil War, the original Civil War.
Yeah.
Because what he did was inhumane and horrible. But yeah, he'll work for Cap. Now, there is an explanation for that.
Go on.
Not in the book, but you can think, because Thor has seen Cap lift the hammer, he feels like he should follow Cap. Yeah. Deadpool, they explained in the latest issue of Uncanny Avengers, Cap just pulled up in a limo and was like, yo, Deadpool, I need your help. And he just got in the limo.
Okay. Well, he told
But
you.
Deadpool's really loyal to Cap for some reason. I don't know why. Especially seeing as though Deadpool's Canadian.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so Secret Empire happened. However, just before we move on, first, in the Free Comic Book Day, there was the backup of Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man. Everything I want from a Spider-Man comic.
Yeah?
He was on a lunch date with Mary Jane. And then he had to chase the Vulture, and he was using classic quips, taking the piss out of the Vulture. The Vulture was getting arsey back, and then another villain like a new Trapster turned up. And I was like, that's a Spider-Man comic, not this Dan Slott shit where he's a rich man travelling the world, fighting ridiculously convoluted villains now. And, yeah. And also, All New Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1 was absolutely brilliant, and I badmouthed the Guardians a lot in terms of comics over the last couple of years. I forgot how much I loved the Guardians. Now that Bendis is gone, everything's better, including the fact that Rocket Raccoon issue 1, written by Al Ewing, is the best comic of this week. So that's comics. Quickly run through what I've been watching. Started watching Preacher.
Oh yeah, what did you think?
Preacher's good. Sort of 4 episodes in, or so. Preacher's good. Riverdale. Oh, Riverdale. I know who killed Jason Blossom, Aaron.
Oh.
So does everyone who's watched Riverdale.
Oh, right.
But his own dad killed him. His own dad.
Really?
Someone's going to me, right? People kept going to me. It's like, oh, I think Jughead's killed him. And I'm like, it's not going to be Jughead, is it? He's one of the main 4 characters.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They get rid of Jughead, it ruins the whole show. They're like, what if it was Betty? I'm like, same thing. It's not Archie, it's not Betty, it's not Jughead, it's not Veronica. It could be anyone else, but it's not those 4. But yeah, that was fun. But American Gods. Oh, American Gods.
I haven't started this yet.
Oh, the first 2 episodes are brilliant. Episode 1 is brilliant. Episode 2 is really good. However, they don't explain a lot in the TV show.
Right.
And I feel like it helps if you've read the book. I feel like it really helps if you've read the book. Because a lot of people I've heard watching it who haven't read the book are a bit like, I don't know what's going on. Like, people like it still, but they're like, I'm not sure what's going on, and I feel like they could have explained that better, or could have done that, or done this. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But they added a scene in episode 2 where they introduced Anansi, the spider god.
Can we just take 2 seconds?
Yes.
2 seconds, I got answer, cool.
Back in the game. Someone got a phone call. So yeah, American Gods. In episode 2 they introduced Anansi, the spider god, from African folklore, with one of arguably the greatest monologues I've ever seen on TV. It is incredible. It's essentially, it's like, there's this slaver ship, and there's the slave praying to Anansi.
Okay.
And Anansi just turns up, and he's like, you are fucked.
We're back in the game. Sorry,
like, you guys are
quick
fucked.
call.
And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, you're fucked now. You've just come across in America, and you're fucked. 100 years from now, you're fucked. 100 years from then, you're fucked. One day you'll be walking down the street and a policeman will shoot you.
Yeah. And
I'm sat there, I'm like, fucking hell, this is brutal. And then he's like rallies up these slaves, and he's like, so you can either die then and live a horrible life, or you can get up out of your ass, you can get on this ship, and you can burn this ship to the ground. You'll die with it, but you'll make a difference. And I was like, oh, so good. So good. And that's how he gets to America. It's brilliant. And the cinematography in this show. Oh, people was like, oh, the Battle of the Bastards has got great cinematography. I've seen the Battle of the Bastards. It's got nothing on this show.
Back from our break, you would have felt absolutely nothing. It was just one of those ones of just getting everything prepped up before.
Oh, I did a little burp in it.
So, let's start off with, I suppose, where we're supposed to begin, with the beginning of it all.
Or should we start off with a general view?
Alright, go for it.
I fucking love this film.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely loved it. The more I think about it, the more I love it. And it might be in approaching 1 in terms of quality for me.
In the weirdest way, I think it's better than 1 for me.
I think it might be. I think the reason I hold 1 so highly is it caught us off guard.
Yeah.
No one thought that film was going to be good. No one thought that film was going to be good.
And now here we are after it
was brilliant.
2.
And now, what, 4 years on?
Yeah.
3 years on?
Must be 3.
Yeah, 3 years on. Absolutely love it. So, we'll start at the beginning.
Best first 5 minutes of any Marvel movie, flat out.
Yeah. However, the opening has my one major gripe.
Go on.
Well, it's not even a major gripe. The callback to the dancing Groot scene in the first film.
Oh, with the
when
standing
Batista
still.
lands
Yeah.
and he stands still. There was no need to do that.
There was no need. Again,
but
so,
I let him off.
Yeah, so essentially, let's break it down again. Spoiler heavy. Duh. The beginning is the Guardians are hired to take on an interdimensional being. And, of course, Quill likes to have music playing at all times because...
I love that scene. Oh, it's so funny.
And you have Baby Groot, or I'm going to call him Little Groot. I don't like calling him Baby Groot. I feel Baby Groot is Plant Pot Groot. Little Groot should be the one walking about.
Toddler Groot.
Yeah.
Toddler Groot.
Or Child Groot, if you want to go by Baby Groot, Child Groot, and then end scenes Teenage Groot. So he plugs it in, and of course we always have to have an iconic thing, which is going to be the mix for Tape of Volume 2, Mr. Blue Sky, and the fact that you don't really see the fight for the majority of it, you just see Groot.
That's what I thought was brilliant about it. When they first started it, I was like, oh god, no, wait a minute, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because my thing going into this film, I was so worried about Baby Groot. I thought he was going to be irritating. I thought he was going to be really annoying, but he wasn't.
Yeah, because they didn't overuse him. They just
they didn't. They used him the perfect amount.
Yeah.
I feel that they used every character the perfect amount in this film.
Honestly, the only one I felt I would have liked a little bit more of, and this is just because the fact of who it is, I would have liked a little bit more Sly Stallone.
Oh yeah.
I'll
give you that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that later on.
That's a very important bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favourite thing about the opening scene is where Rocket's trying to build the thing, and they're like, Rocket, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm putting the stereo so we can listen to some tunes. It was the way he said tunes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's brilliant. It's like, when Drax jumps into the beast, it's like, this beast's skin is as thick on the outside. It's too thick on the outside. I'm going in. Just jumps in, and then Gamora just gets sick of it. You know in Age of Ultron, where Black Widow says, "Oh, I'm always picking up after you boys."
Yeah.
That line should have been used here.
In a way,
because Gamora is always picking up after
however,
these
I did like, and I know we got it in the trailer as well, but the little line she goes like, "Of just going through, it's dangerous." It just starts with like, "Hi!" It's like holding a giant gun. Because if it was like the beginning of the fight, it would be really annoying. The fact it's halfway through a fight, it's like, oh
yeah. Yeah, it is very that opening scene is brilliant. This leads to what I think was the weakest part of the film. Was the Sovereign.
The Sovereign are, yeah. It just felt like here they are.
Yeah, but I think that was done purposefully.
Yeah, it was.
Because this film isn't about villains or even like a big bad.
Yeah, it's not about the Sovereign.
It's these characters.
Yeah, it's about cementing the idea of family from misfits.
So yeah, you go into the Sovereign, and I did like the bit with Peter flirting with her, and then
trying to
slowing down because of Gamora. But it's when Rocket and Drax are walking out, and Rocket's stolen them, and Drax just bursts out laughing. Yeah.
It's the fact though that Rocket, because this is the second time, he attempts to try and be coy and wink.
Yeah.
I was like, was I using the wrong eye again?
I'm using the wrong eye again. That's brilliant. But yeah, it's and then we have a good starship.
Obligatory space battle. Yeah.
Which that scene could have taken or leave it until Drax jumps out the back of the fucking.
However, I do love the fact that the Sovereign love their life so much they use arcade machines.
Oh yeah, this is
for their
touch.
spaceships. And
that's such a James Gunn touch.
And they all act like they're at the arcade, like, oh, you suck at this. It's like, it's not a game. You're actually a pilot. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's clever. That's such a James Gunn thing.
Yeah.
It feels like this film, it feels like Marvel has such an input in all of the films, but it seems like they just let James Gunn go and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's like, James, you're doing alright.
It's like, the Guardians aren't really that important. Do what you want.
Yeah, it's like, will they be Infinity War? Maybe, but I mean, not the way you.
The other thing I think was weak was Nebula. But I don't think she's that interesting of a character. She was better than she was in the first film, but
yeah,
that was
I like the fact it felt a bit tacked on with the way of how they met, with the whole we were getting her.
Yeah,
really.
She was. I think she was only there really to give Gamora some story.
Well, yeah, it was to cement her.
Because otherwise, Gamora would have had nothing in the film.
Yeah, because everyone's trying to cement family. Because you have Drax with Mantis, you have Rocket with Yondu, and
Pete with Ego,
and
Groot with everyone.
Yeah, and Gamora just would have nothing. So having Nebula again, it's one of those ones where you're annoyed at Nebula. Well, I was annoyed at Nebula, but
I wasn't annoyed. I just thought she wasn't characterized very well.
I got annoyed with the whole crashing the ship on Ego, which happened a lot later on.
Yeah.
It's like, really? You're going to keep going with this? But the whole... When she opened up and said how Thanos ripped her eye out of her socket, ripped her brain out of her skull, ripped her arm out.
Yeah.
I like how that was the biggest one.
That was
I like how that was the biggest one. Oh yeah, he ripped my arm out. Not the whole skull ripping part, or the brain ripping part. No, my arm. That's the dick move.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, Ego. What do we think of Ego?
I liked the concept.
I'm going to go on a whim.
Go
on. And trump for the fact that he is taking out Loki, the best movie villain.
Yeah.
Which isn't hard.
I will agree he's the best movie villain. However, for me, my biggest gripe is the fact that, start to finish, he is just a one-and-done plot device. And they just removed the whole, who is Peter Quill's dad? Oh, look, he's special. Oh, no, it's gone now. Really? Come on.
I reckon there's going to be something else to that.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be.
I feel that in the third film, he might get the element gun. And he might be able to power it due to his...
Might have a little bit of the ego of the planet in it, so we can use the element gun type of thing.
Yeah. I love that they actually showed the planet with the face.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That made me so happy. So where are we in plot-wise? We're at Barrett.
The crash.
The scene of the crash and Drax being pulled through the trees and then just stood there laughing. Just like, yes! Drax steals this film. Drax and Yondu really steal this film.
It's intriguing how much you have aggression between two characters that you don't think you would ever see aggression, which is Rocket and Quill. It's like, wow, there's a lot of tension between those two for a while. Now I get why. It's because both of them think of themselves as the captain and the smartest people in there. Yeah.
I thought I was when the trailers, I was like, oh, they're ruining all the best jokes. I know they're ruining all the best jokes. They really didn't.
No, they didn't.
We didn't hear anything about Drax's nipples in the trailers.
No, that was quite good.
Oh, and it's that because we've skipped the bit where they're in the ship, and he's like, Rocket's like, dude, if we lose, I'm gonna put a turd in your pillow.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you put a turd in my pillow, I will shave you. I didn't say it's going to be my turd. It'll be one of Drax's. And Drax is just like, ha, I have famously large turds. It was like, such a stupid line, but it's so brilliant. And it's like Drax in the first film got a little bit irritating by the end of the film. But in this film, he's just, everything that comes out of his mouth is golden.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think one of my favourite scenes in the film is when they explain Mantis' powers.
Oh, with the
and they're sat around that thing. And I know we saw it in the trailer, but it's genius.
The Drax
just
stuff,
so
though,
funny.
It's just great. It's just touched it. You're thinking oh god, you're gonna feel the pain or the anger, and it's just cannot control.
She just touches him and starts laughing.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
However, we have skipped
clever.
a little bit here because that's where they travel with Ego. We have the cut to what was the planet?
Oh, the Cortaxia.
Yeah,
or something like that.
with the
the Ravagers
we
see Yondu.
Well, no. First of all,
They're having
what we see Yondu,
They're having a bit of sexy time.
we see Howard the Duck
We do see Howard the Duck.
saying, once
That
you
made
go
me very
duck.
happy. Once you go duck. That was good. Yeah, so Yondu's having some sexy time with some robots.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
And he comes out and he hears... he's like, Stakar! And there we go. There it is. Stakar, the Starhawk. My main... classic Guardians. Man.
With the classic
we'll
giant shoulder blades as well.
He had the shoulder blades. They weren't quite as mad as they were.
But they're still glowing yellow.
They were going for it. Yeah, and Stallone actually he gave a really good performance there.
He did, yeah.
In those 5 minutes he was there. Like Stallone is a really good actor.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people joke about him, but he is actually a really talented actor. But yeah, he gives a great performance for what is essentially a cameo.
In reality, yeah, it is.
Yeah, brilliant casting. I love the idea that the original Guardians are old.
Yeah.
Even though they're from the future in the comics. But,
yeah, the 31st century, but let's not go into it. It's the fact they reference...
And we learn that he was Yondu's mentor.
Yeah.
And Yondu broke the Ravager code.
By trading children.
And we're like, ooh, he's trading children. Ooh, what's he doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, cut back, and we're back in Ego's ship. There's a shot in Ego's ship, which is my favourite shot of the film.
Oh yeah.
Where Pete's listening to music, and he's in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and there's this massive, just white wall behind him, and he's just stood there listening to music. And I thought that was such a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
So well composed. He's just it's almost like the whole of his, he has no idea. There's this massive blank slate in front of him, and he has no idea where he's going. See, I can analyse a film.
It's one of those ones of, he's in the unknown as much as the viewer.
Yeah. And I really like that. I actually think, of the actual Guardians, Peter Quill was the least impressive in this film. Because Gamora had a lot of great stuff, Drax had a lot of great stuff, Rocket had a lot of great stuff, Groot had a lot of great stuff.
I think the reason...
Quill...
It's because we saw a lot of good stuff from him in the previous one. It was like...
Yeah, he was the surprise in the first one.
Yeah.
Him and Drax were the surprise in the first one.
In a way, it was just... He was just there kind of just to move the plot along a little bit.
He does have one of my favourite lines in the film, though, when he finds out he's got the power, and he's like, "Oh, get ready for a 10-foot statue of Pac-Man, Havelock clear. I'm gonna make some weird shit."
I love it. It's like Skeletor, Pac-Man, Havelock clear. I'm gonna make some weird shit. Of course, child of the 80s.
Yeah, legend. But yeah, it's the fight scene with Rocket when he's getting captured by the Ravagers was great.
Oh, the commando.
And he's singing, and he's pretending to be in the ship with the little singer.
Yeah.
And Groot's face in that scene is heartbreaking.
I know.
There's a little sad face on him. And Rocket's there and doing it. Now the taser face joke went on a little bit too much.
It went a bit thin by the end of it.
It was funny while Rocket was doing it. When they did it again towards the end of Taserface's life, it was really. But Taserface is a deep cut.
Yeah.
Taserface appeared in the very first issue of the Guardians' first series.
Really?
In 1990.
Wow.
The first issue, because Guardians first appeared in Marvel Spotlight or whatever it was. They had a few issues in there. Then they were in a Defenders arc, and then Marvel Presents, and then in the 90s they finally got their own series, and that was the classic Guardians, the Starhawk and Yondu.
The 31st century one.
Yeah, and Taserface was in the very first issue of that.
Oh wow.
Which I thought was cool. I thought that was a good deep cut.
The cruelty towards Groot was a little bit.
I really struggled with that scene. I was like, Jesus Christ.
They went a bit far.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
I did like the line, "Should we kill him?" No, he's way too adorable.
Yeah. Also, I got an idea. Get the tailor. Because of course there's a tailor on board. Of all things.
Now the whole sequence on the ship with Yondu and stuff was the best bit of the film. The Rocket and Yondu stuff on the ship and the Groot stuff is the best bit of the film.
Now,
hands down.
What I was surprised by with that scene, because again, the whole Nebula kind of throwing them in, I was assuming that with Yondu kind of being stepped down, I would have assumed that they would have gone like, right, I did all this, you're mine now.
Yeah.
I was a little bit annoyed at the fact they just went, no, I'm just going to piss off and just like try and find Gamora.
Yeah, but the thing is, she doesn't care about the Rocket and Yondu. All she cares about is getting Gamora.
I know, it would have been cool just to be like, I don't even care about Rocket and that. Like, it's just like, right, I've got a crew now, I can go kill Thanos if I want to.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm so happy Thanos didn't turn up in this film.
It would have ruined it if he did.
Oh, God. I fucking hate Thanos. But yeah, that scene, I love the scene where they're talking about what Rocket and Yondu have done.
And how
when they're in the cell.
Alike, yeah.
It's like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, he's like, I fucked up. Like, I was a slave, I was brought here, you just stuck, and then Groot turns up and they're like, go get this. No, not that, get this. No, get this.
That's his eye. Wait. I want to keep it.
That joke.
I love the fact they brought it back.
I was like, oh, that's brilliant, because that's the bit that has me in stitches the most from the first film. So he's like, I'm going to need your leg. Why did you need his leg? Just so when he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't have his leg.
Just like, because he's going to wake up and wonder where his eye is.
That's brilliant. And then the fucking action sequence with Yondu walking through and just...
Oh, the whistling.
Slaying.
And then
everybody.
Just get into the CCTV cameras like, and begin the orchestra. It was just awesome.
Yeah, and like, that, for me, is the best action sequence in a Marvel movie.
Yeah. It's
like
subtle.
Like I said to one of my friends, like, it's the best action sequence in a Marvel movie. And my mate was like, oh, I'm partial to Avengers. And I went, what, the 45-minute action sequence? Does that count?
No, I would say
if you can tell me a specific strand from that bit that's better than that, I'll give you it. And he was like, oh, you know, when Hulk punches Thor. I was like, no, that's the stupidest bit of the whole film.
No.
But yeah, no. But I think the song is what made
Oh,
that.
it did.
The Jay and the Americans come a little bit closer. Just the soundtrack to this film. When I came out of the film, I was like, I don't think the soundtrack is good this time.
It wasn't.
I bought the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying it's better. Seriously. This one doesn't... I can listen to this whole one without skipping a song.
Okay.
The last one, I got to skip a couple of the songs.
See, it's still no... Because everyone thinks it's good. Everyone goes, oh, Hooked on a Feeling. It's not for me. Mine's Come and Get Your Love by Blue Suede.
Come and Get Your... Yeah, the opening.
Yeah, that's my favourite song from that whole film. I'll listen to that on repeat many, many times.
Yeah, it's my favourite. But it's just this song is the Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Which is one of the greatest songs ever made. Mr. Blue Sky. Jay and the Americans Come a Little Bit Closer. Cheap Trick, Surrender. Fox on the Run. Although Fox on the Run isn't actually in the film, that was in the trailer, but they put it on the soundtrack.
Makes sense.
Brandy, You're a Fine Girl.
That one I would probably skip after a while.
I like Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. It's classic. But yeah, I just thought it was such a good... And the Cat Stevens song at the end. The Father and Son.
Yeah, that was
brilliant
good.
Song. But I think the reason I say this now is I think the songs were used better in this film.
Yeah, they were used a lot better.
And I think that's what makes me think it was a slightly better soundtrack. Like, in the first film, it just felt like they were putting songs in for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Where here, it was like, they each had their moment.
However, the Suicide Squad was even worse, because they went, oh, look, Guardians can do it. And no, you just did it in such a haphazard way.
Like, it was a great soundtrack, Suicide Squad. But just arguably a better soundtrack than this, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just awfully used.
But so badly used. Like, at the beginning of the film, you're like, actually, they're using the soundtrack quite well, and they, like, introduce Belle Reve and they use House of the Rising Sun. You're like, oh, that's good. That's clever. And then they're just like, song, 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 song. Oh, stop it.
No, I just.
But yeah, so whereabouts are we?
We've
done the Yondu stuff.
So we're
back to Ego's planet.
Yeah.
So back to Ego's planet.
Which has one of my favourite lines, my favourite Quill line. No, my favourite, my Gamora to Quill of just reaction of, you told me a really sad story of how you told everyone when you were growing up that your father was
David
Hasselhoff and he was off filming Knight Rider.
He's on a boat, filming a boat, and he's like, "There's a car,
talking car,
talking boat, talking car."
I love that. It's like the fact that again, it's one of those sorts of how a kid would act with it all, and the fact that it is. You would say your dad's David Hasselhoff, and the fact that you actually see Ego transforming.
Yeah, that was clever.
It's like, oh wow.
It didn't really click because I knew that they'd got David Hasselhoff to do the song, the Guardians Inferno song.
Yeah. But
it didn't click that he would actually appear in the film, and it didn't click the relation when they're doing that line. And then when he turned up, I was like, oh, it's brilliant. But yeah, so my thing with Ego's planet is I don't really care for the Nebula and Gamora stuff. Like whatever. Like it was actually quite interesting when she's actually telling her and she actually gets some character.
Yeah.
But I think my favourite scene on Ego's planet is where Drax and Mantis are sat looking over.
Oh, and the fact that she cannot
genuinely touching scene.
Yeah, and then you just see Mantis attempt to just touching Drax.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell can you bear all this pain? He's just there, just
there staring,
silently mulling at the fact that he is full of all this anguish from what Thanos has done. Or no, Rhodes has done.
Great. Yeah, such a great.
It was Thanos in the comic books, and it was. Again, it's one of those acceptance.
Yeah, the design of Ego's planet is incredible.
The parts that Ego wants to see, the whole desert stuff, again.
Yeah, the desert, but like the area around the castle and like when they're flying across the thing with bubbles and stuff. The aesthetic is awesome, but it's such like sticking to the style of these films.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
like the sort of bizarre, like colourful idea. So yeah, that scene got me. I was getting a bit misty-eyed. Meanwhile, with Yondu and that coming back through, and the fucking Pee Wee Herman style special effects on that, where they're going through the jumps.
Oh yeah, well they have.
And their faces
you want to do 50 jumps.
I was 100 jumps. Jumps. And I was pissing my pants because I was watching it with my dad, and when Rocket's face came out, my dad just leaned over and he went, "Looks like that twat from Ice Age." I was like, ah! Looks like fucking Scrap.
It was quite cool.
And meanwhile, on that bit, when they're jumping through, we see fighting on a planet, two of the Stone Men, two of the Cronins.
Oh yeah.
Korg from Planet Hulk, alluding to the next film, because we know that Korg's going to be in the next film. And then we see something I never thought we were going to see in a Marvel movie. We saw the Watchers, man.
I know, that was a surprise.
Saw the Watchers.
I like the fact it was like one of those ones of the Watchers are being bored by Stan Lee.
Yeah. We didn't see a Uatu. We've got to make that very clear, because they don't own a Uatu. Fox own a Uatu.
Yeah, they never named the Watchers, they just showed 3 Watchers.
Showed a bunch of Watchers on the moon.
Yeah.
Which is Uatu's place.
It is.
Uatu is the Watcher for our space sector. But yeah, that was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Caught me by surprise. And then, so getting down to the actual plot of Ego. What did you think of the actual plot of Ego? Like the idea behind it, or him trying to find the perfect son that can channel the energy of the Celestials?
The whole subplot of the fact he's just been kind of like spreading his seed, hoping it would stick, I find very annoying, because it is one of those ones of just kind of hinting at the reference of deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
And in the weirdest way of the whole trying to make his trying to make his essence like converge over other planets. Don't get me wrong, I like the concept. If you took Earth out of it, I would prefer it.
Yeah, because really you'd think if that was happening, the Avengers would have turned up.
Yeah, the Avengers would have been there to secure that perimeter, and it's just one of those ones of...
I did like the style of that, though, because it reminded me of The Blob.
Yeah.
That classic film that you see in Greece,
definitely.
where it's trying to kill it. I like that. My thing is I didn't really care about the actual plot, but I really like the idea that he put the brain tumour in,
that
in
moment
that was
of
dark.
Yeah, I was just
and I was not expecting that.
I felt bad about putting the tumour in your mother's head. And it was just that, because again, you have the whole, the segment is essentially Quill's being brainwashed, as it were.
Yeah.
With, here's all the power of Celestials. And the fact that the passion of that just goes to him like, dickhead! Both guns.
I wondered if that was an Easter egg, where he gets the eyes, where he gets the starry eyes.
Yeah.
Because it looked a lot like Eternity.
Oh.
When Marvel do Eternity, when, he's the physical embodiment of the universe.
Yeah.
It looked a lot like that. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I see what you mean with that.
But the way he just blasts the shit out of
and you see, because again, another bonus with it being a 12A is that, again, there's no blood or anything with that one. Essentially, the 12A is more there for the language in this film than it is for the violence.
Yeah.
But you just see all the shots rain on, because again, you just get like a framework. It's like, he's taken half his head off, there's most of his chest gone, and the thing's like, you little shit!
We got a fuck in this film, didn't we? There was somewhere there was a fuck. There was definitely a fuck.
Yes, there was, I'm sure.
But I can't remember where. I have a feeling it was that point.
Yeah, I think it was. But it was just...
Could be, I don't remember.
I like the fact that no matter how much you want to...
Yeah, I think it's ego. I think ego goes, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
I loved Kurt Russell's ego, I have to say.
So
It was
good.
brilliant. Such a good cat. I did feel that the scene where Quill makes the ball and they're playing catch was quite cringy.
It was on the nose. It's like, everyone's playing catch with the dad. No, you're going to play catch. Oh, piss off.
I was like, so yeah. Spaceship crashes, knocks him down.
My other gripe my gripe is the fact that they let Ego calls himself a Celestial.
Yeah, Ego's not a Celestial.
He's not a Celestial, he's a living planet. And it's the fact that, oh yeah, he's a Celestial. But we've seen in the first one that they're mining the skull of a Celestial.
Mm.
What?
I don't know. It's, comics.
Well, film in this case.
Movies.
The comics actually keep to some sort of level. With this one, it's just meh.
But yeah, so we'll jump to the final action sequence. The plan. So they all escape Ego, and Pete Quill's like, all right, let's. Quill and Yondu and Rocket have turned up after Groot's thrown up all over himself, which.
Yeah. Sap.
Yeah. So they bury into the planet.
Yeah, because essentially the way to stop Ego is to kill the mind at the centre of the core. Tries
to do that. Brilliant action sequence.
I loved the ship design of the fact all the laser beams would change.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. The way they'd roll down the thing. Whoever thought of that, it's brilliant. I like the bit with Mantis where they're like, you can put him to sleep. She's like, I've never done it before. And Drax like, I believe in you. And like that would have been nice anyway. And she does it, but then he just tops it because he just goes, I don't think she could do that.
Yeah.
I was like, because it was a really nice scene, and then you get that, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's funny he said like you're ugly, and then at one point he's like, no, you're not ugly.
Yeah, you're beautiful on the inside.
Yeah, I like that. It's like on the inside.
I couldn't quite work out what they were trying to do there. I couldn't quite work out if they were trying to build a romantic thing.
No.
If they were trying to build a father-daughter thing.
It's a father-daughter thing, but at the same time, Drax is also quite scared of the fact of letting someone in again after what happened with Thanos, with Ronan.
I have a serious feeling that in Guardians 3 they're going to introduce Moondragon, who is Drax's daughter.
They're going to. They've got to.
And then they can introduce Violet Vale as well.
Yeah.
Do Quasar.
Because again, it's one of those ones of they, and this is what I do like a lot about this one is that, and this is a gripe I have with Ant-Man. They tacked on the romantic thing so late, it hurt.
Oh, what, between Hope and
Scott?
Scott, yeah.
In this one, you know there was a romantic thing in the first one, and the second one, it is still just left of things left unspoken.
Yeah, this unspoken thing between us.
And it's left at that, and I hope upon hope, it will stay like that for a while.
Yeah, because those two have never really been a thing in the comics, have they?
Stark has slept with Gamora before Star-Lord.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she was unimpressed.
Yeah. That made me laugh.
Yeah.
That's one I didn't like, man.
It was absolutely hilarious.
But yeah, so Mantis puts him to sleep. So they got this bomb, and we saw this in the trailer where there's the bomb, and that seems funny enough as it is. They're pressing the button.
Yeah.
Don't press the button. He's like, I'm Groot. I'm Groot.
I love the expansion on the tape thing. Has anyone got any tape?
That's what I was just getting to.
I could just actually ask people about tape.
It reminds me of the first scene.
Yeah.
Where they're not showing any of the fight. And he's just going around, he's like, you got any tape? And it's just Rocket and Groot there, just like, biting their nails, waiting.
Yeah.
You got any tape? He's like, surely you should have tape. You're the one who makes stuff. And he's like, that's my point. I've got to do everything.
Well, I like the fact it's like, did you ask Mantis? I asked Drax.
Did you ask Nebula?
No.
She
she
sat right next to Yondu.
Yeah, it's like, so you didn't ask her that.
Yeah. And then we see everyone gets back into the ship.
Well,
Rocket. No,
because the first ones were
Peter and Nebula. Peter gets back into the ship, and it's Nebula, Peter, and Yondu in the ship. Nebula, and it explodes. They get the Sovereign turn up, and they blow up the ship. And Nebula jumps out, and then the bit that probably made me laugh the most in the whole film. The ship blows up, and down floats Yondu, holding onto his arrow, holding Quill. Yeah. He's like, dude, you look like Mary Poppins. Is he cool? Yeah, he's cool.
He's like,
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh, best thing ever.
Yondu's so cool. I love Yondu.
And the fact we have actually skipped over this, the fact that he got the prototype controller.
Oh, he's got the proper fin,
the proper mohawk back.
Which is always important.
Yeah.
The more comic accurate the costume, the more I'm hard at the penis.
I prefer that look with the leather jacket Ravager versus the ridiculousness. But the mohawk's key.
Yeah, the mohawk. You need the big full-on mohawk.
Yeah, and that was perfected with this one.
So, I don't think, fight-wise, I don't think there's really much more important stuff. Except for when they put the jetpack on Drax, and he's my nipples!
Because he takes up Mantis. Gamora and Nebula get up to the cross by floating pillars because Ego wakes up.
Yeah.
And then you have
left down below. You have Yondu, Rocket,
Groot,
and Star-Lord.
Yeah, and Quill.
And Rocket and Yondu's begin, and things are starting to enclose. And,
because at the same time, Quill is also distracting Ego so they can get everybody out by using the power of the Celestial or the planet to fight him. So
including by turning into Pac-Man.
I did like that with the fact that Ego made himself into a larger version of himself, and Quill was like, "I'm making Pac-Man to eat you."
Call back to earlier.
Yeah.
She's got it. So yeah, they're all being trapped underneath. Everyone's being trapped, including Drax and Gamora and Nebula. And Rocket and Yondu stood there, and Rocket's like, "I've only got enough for one person to get out of here."
Well, no, he didn't say that to begin with. It's just you see Yondu's like, "I've done a lot of bad things."
Oh yeah, I'm not leaving. Oh, we skipped the bit where they're in the spaceship just before they come on Ego, and they're and Rocket's and Yondu's like, "Why you gotta be such a dick?"
Oh yeah.
And Rocket's like, and Yondu's like, "I know you, boy. you're me.
Yeah. And it's
Such
just that
well
realisation of like,
scene.
oh fuck, yeah, I will turn into Yondu if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
But it's one of those. It's just one of those moments that you just see as like, I only got one left of each. And he just hands him over a suit and a rocket pack.
Hands him over.
And you
So
and you just have Groot doing I am Groot, and he's like, what did he say? Welcome to the frickin' Guardians of the Galaxy. Except he didn't use frickin'.
We gotta talk about your language, boy. So yeah, and then essentially Star-Lord has to kill Ego, but if he kills Ego, he loses his powers. And he's like, I don't give two shits, mate. You dead now. You dead now, boy. And then Yondu saves him, brings him out, brings out Star-Lord. But the ship's already gone up, and Yondu sacrifices himself.
Yeah, it's one of those ones.
Save Star-Lord.
I do have a minor gripe of why is the ship so far away?
Yeah, like they could have been hovering a little bit.
He could be in orbit, and then they have to go into orbit, not like out of orbit. And it's like one of the ones of just that touching moment of Quill realizing how much of a father that Yondu was to him as he's dying in his arms.
Pratt plays that so well as well.
Oh, it
he does that so well.
Properly got to me that point because it's just one of those ones of don't let Yondu die. Don't let Yondu die.
It's Chris Pratt's voice when he's doing it. It's like, no, he's like properly breaking.
Trying to rip off the oxygen suit to try and save it. It was one of those ones that just. I was in the same mentality of it. I didn't want Yondu to go that quickly. I felt there was more. He
didn't get used to his full extent in the first film.
No.
So you were like, Yondu was cool, but you weren't like, oh, Yondu was fucking brilliant. And then in this film, by the end of the film, you're like, this character is brilliant. And then they kill him off.
Also, we kind of skipped over a bit of the why Yondu was exiled as a Ravager for the Charge Off. It turned out he had a contract with Ego to keep delivering all of these kids of Ego to him, and he didn't realise it was killing him. And
then when he found out, that's why he didn't take Pete.
And he kept him
for thieving.
He can get into small places.
He's skinny and get into small places. He's good for thieving.
And,
So he dies in space, and then we have one of the best funerals ever.
It's the fact that that's the ending as well. Ending is though like the setup for the next film or anything. It is just the funeral of Yondu where he is recognised as a Ravager again, and you see the formation of the old Guardian.
Whoa. Peter Quill realises that Yondu is David Hasselhoff.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, kind of, and I really liked it where Rocket, because Rocket's really sad at it. He's like, genuinely broken by this.
Yeah.
Because he actually quite liked Yondu. But it's when Groot just goes, I am Groot, and he's like, yeah, he called you Twig. And then you get this really beautiful scene, really beautifully shot scene of them doing the Ravager funeral,
with
breaking
the
down,
and everything.
He's called the old Ravager buddies, and then comes Starhawk, and just like, yeah, he's my big man Yondu, he's the good man.
Because we still have his, his first mate from Guardians.
Yeah, we forgot about Kraglin is taking his fin.
Yeah, Kragling is still there as he's actually stayed with the Guardians on the ship. Well, then again, it's Yondu's ship, so
yeah. And they give Peter gives Kragling the whistle arrow.
Yeah,
so Starhawk comes in.
The repaired whistling arrow.
And we forgot to mention.
Yeah. That
when Starhawk turned up the first time, he was accompanied by his buddy Martin X.
Oh crap!
The Plutonian.
Yeah.
Who was played by Michael Rosenbaum, otherwise known as Lex Luthor from Smallville.
Throwback.
Which was awesome. And then turns up my main man. Oh, my main man Ving Rhames as Charlie 27.
I know.
And then Michelle Yeoh from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon turns up as a letter, although she looks nothing like a letter.
I like the new look though. It's kind of interesting.
So many people on Reddit have been like, "Why did Hela turn up at the end of Guardians 2?" It's like, yeah, kind of.
I see where you're coming from though.
So we see those two, and I'm like, "Oh yes, awesome!" And then you get this really cute scene of Groot going between all the different characters, giving them hugs and stuff.
Yeah,
that's cute. And then it ends. But you got the brilliant Cat Stevens song playing over the top. You're still young, that's your fault. So much you have to know.
Oh, we also forgot about the fact that a bit backwards of one of the other great Quill lines of, "You killed my mother and broke my Walkman."
Yeah, and squashed my Walkman.
And the fact that one of the last things that was it Kraglin that gave him? Oh yeah, Kraglin gave him it.
Kraglin gives him the zoom.
Yeah, it's like, oh, apparently this is what everyone's listening to on Earth. Like, I love that as a
bit of a dig on Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then that's the end of the film. But we get some credit scenes. We get a lot of credit scenes. We get 5 after credit scenes.
Yeah, it was quite annoying. It's like, really stop.
So you get one straight away, which is Kraglin trying to learn how to use the whistle arrow and stabs Drax.
Yeah, that was quite good.
Then you get the original Guardians of the Galaxy turn up again. Starhawk, Martin X, Charlie 27, and Aletta, joined by Mainframe.
Oh yeah.
Voiced by Miley Cyrus.
Wow, really?
Yep. Voiced by Miley Cyrus. And then Krugar, who has nothing to do with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it just turns up, fuck it.
And is actually a Doctor Strange character, and is actually once the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh,
you see the little runes that Doctor Strange makes. He does that, and he does the little thing over there.
I wonder if that's going to be a hint towards that Krugar again, we might be seeing...
We could all see Krugar again.
It might be one of those ones that we might see Doctor Strange team up with the Guardians at some point.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. So yeah, and then third one is Teenage Groot.
Teenage Groot, I love that.
Teenage Groot, that was clever. It's nice, as much as I did enjoy Baby Groot in this, it's nice to see that he'll be back to proper Groot.
Is that we're getting closer and closer to the fact we're getting back to Vin Diesel actually not having to have a voice modulator so much on his voice.
But like, Groot is when they're together as a team, Groot is usually the best character in the comics.
Yeah.
Like, he's always got that most help. When he's by himself, not so much. Or when he's just him and Rocket. But, and then number 4 is Adam Warlock.
I love that. The next evolution of Sovereign, calling him Adam.
Kind of makes the Easter egg of thingy a waste of time in the first film.
Well, it just can go into the question of, well, what did come out of that?
Yeah. Ego.
Well, alright.
Howard the Duck.
I would assume more Howard, but you can't tell these days.
Yeah. Well, there's still a Easter egg somewhere stuck in Guardians of the Galaxy that no one's found yet. So,
right.
According to James Gunn.
Oh, he's going to say that for as long as possible.
Yeah, he'll probably do the same thing with this one.
Yeah.
And then the final one is more Stan Lee with watches.
That's true.
That scene just makes me so happy.
There is a slight minor one as well of
David Hasselhoff's "We Are Groot."
Not just that, but also in the ending, because again, the credits, which more credits should do this, is they are slightly animated with people with all the characters dancing.
Oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum turns up.
Jeff Goldblum turns up.
I love Jeff Goldblum. I can't tell you how excited I am to see Jeff Goldblum as Grandmaster.
I know, it's one of those cool, we're getting reference to Grandmaster in the space stuff. Sounds good to me.
I absolutely love Jeff Goldblum. He's such a good actor. I actually think, like, Thor Ragnarok looks like it's going to be great.
I'm hoping it goes in a similar direction to this.
Yeah, I watched Hunt for the Wilder People, which was Taika Waititi's last film, the guy who's directing Thor.
Yeah.
So good. Such a good film. Very funny. Set in New Zealand. Sam Neill in it, and I love Sam Neill.
He's good.
Great actor. It's good. But yeah, Guardian, I absolutely love this film. This,
Yeah.
you know, like people have a film that's like their comfort film.
Yeah.
Where they will just watch it over and over again. Like when they're ill, they'll watch it and they'll do this. I feel like this is going to be that film for me.
Yeah, I feel I could quite happily watch
Like just
this
watch
again.
it over and over and over again. I saw it twice. I saw it twice in 2 days. That's how much I love this film.
Yeah, in a way, this again, it's much like Star Trek was for me last year. This one is another one of those ones of I would quite happily go and watch it again.
But I don't think this film is as good as Logan. I think, but it's
Logan's
so
on a
difficult
different
to compare
level,
them.
though.
Logan is on a film level, like a proper filmmaking level.
Yeah,
whereas Guardians is like, this is a great blockbuster.
It's one of those ones of when they've announced, and the last time they did this that I know of was with Mad Max Fury Road, getting the black and white treatment. Logan's getting that. It's going to get a re-release of the black and white.
That. See, a couple of our friends are saying that, oh, wouldn't it be cool if Logan was black and white, but they kept the red blood? I was like, no. It looks stupid.
So what, they want to try and go with a Sin City thing, but with
it's
the
like,
bright yellow has the bright red.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
No, I would like, again, the whole fact that they've gone, yeah, we're doing a black and white version of Logan. That's cool.
They better release that on the Blu-ray.
More than likely. Can't see why not. Black and white mode.
I don't want that. Speaking of Blu-rays, I need to go buy La La Land.
Yes, that is now.
I love that song. Yeah, so Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. If you listening to this and you haven't watched it, what the fuck?
I was going to say, really? You went this far?
Yeah. 2, go watch it, because it's amazing. I feel like it's been harshly criticised as well by critics.
Yeah.
Critics were very harsh. Audiences love it, but critics have been really harsh on it. Like,
I'll be honest, I feel certain audiences have been a little bit harsh on it. They're going, it's not as good as this, and this.
It's pricks, isn't it?
It's a lot more entertainment, a lot more fun.
Yeah, that's the thing about this film, is I doubt it, this year you'll go into the cinema and have as much fun as you do with this film.
The only one I can think...
Even Star Wars. Even Star Wars won't have as much fun.
Well, no, because that one's going to be very serious.
Yeah, it's going to be dark, that's all. So.
I feel the only one that could come close to it, maybe, is the
Cars
first
3.
Alright. Bar kids films. Maybe the first half of Spider-Man Homecoming.
I'm really not looking forward to Spider-Man Homecoming.
Nor am I, because it's just, there's something about it that's just...
The trailers aren't winning me over.
Something shouting to me that this is doing Spider-Man in the reverse order of the fact he's going back to the basic suit to prove himself when he's already kind of proven himself.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm not... And again, this is coming from two people who love Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man's what got me into comics. He's the character that I've always followed.
It was my first superhero.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous.
Yeah. The main reason I'm nervous is it's too Avengers steeped.
Yeah, the fact that Stark is so
Iron Man's
happy.
all over it, and it's like, why is his best friend in this film Ned Leeds? Of all the characters you could have chosen to make his friend, you choose Ned Leeds, and then you just actually turn him into Genki, but just give him the name Ned Leeds. What's the point?
It's going to be an interesting one. Whether
it's going to be good. It'll be a good film.
Well, it's not going to be Tobey Maguire bad, is it?
Well, I still argue that Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man film.
I was talking more Spider-Man 1 and 3, but
being Spider-Man, Tom Holland got it.
Tom Holland was the best one.
He's proven that he's got the ability to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, the direction stuff and everything like that, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man. It's just the train scene.
Well, I would say Spider-Man 2, bar the last quarter of an hour with the whole Mary Jane web.
It's fun Mary Jane shit.
That could have gone quite happily to the wayside.
That's my least favourite thing about the original Spider-Man trilogy is Mary Jane.
Oh, Kirsten Dunst was
just
such
poor casting. Such poor casting.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like Mary Jane's in this film, from what we can tell.
Doesn't look like any of the love interests of Parker's in it.
I think in one of the trailers I heard someone say Liz.
Oh, okay.
So it could be Liz Allen.
Maybe.
There's rumours that Cindy Moon's in it, as in Silk, but, we'll see.
Maybe as an Easter egg. Maybe we'll see, like, a Cindy getting pushed down into the underground or something like that.
I'd love to see Silk, man. I would love to see Silk. I love Silk.
Or maybe have someone standing next to Parker as Sydney.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, I've lost Silk.
They cancelled her.
She's been cancelled.
Wow.
She's a dear shame. Her book dropped pretty drastically with Clone Conspiracy, by the sounds of it.
Right.
Sales-wise. Because, big crossover and everyone wants to do it.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I am actually quite shocked that Gwen has kept going as long as it has.
Yeah.
I would have thought they would have dropped.
It's doing well in trades, I think.
It's one of those
ones. Marvel have kept a lot of books because they're doing well in trades.
It is one of those ones of it's quite good because it's in its own universe and it does well because of that. Because you can branch out.
However, they've still managed to put it into 2 different crossovers with the main universe.
And I despised both of them.
Yeah, Spider-Women was dreadful. I didn't read Sitting in a Tree.
Don't. It was close to cancel.
Well, I won't because it's half Bendis, isn't it? And it's a character that's not important.
It was half Bendis with the name on it, but it was all Bendis for schlock shit writing. Honestly, it was the one thing that nerdies made me stop reading Gwen, and then when the next issue came out when it was back to normal, it was like, right, we're back into the whole Matt Murdock is trying to manipulate Gwen and trying to manipulate Captain Stacy. Mm. This is the good shit again.
Yeah, I like the idea of Spider-Gwen, but there's part of me that just can't get behind it.
No, I understand that.
It's like, she should be dead. And she should be stayed dead.
That's why I like the fact that it's its own universe, and the fact that you have got everything else from that universe of just being like, all of this is so different. The fact that Mary Jane is very much of a snob, but also a hipster.
Yeah. We should probably wrap up.
Indeed.
If you enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, go and buy the new comic, or New Guardians of the Galaxy. It's very steeped in the film, more so than Bendis, but it's better written because it's not Bendis. It's Jerry Duggan and Aaron Kuder. Aaron Kuder's on art. I'm a big Aaron Kuder fan. He did Greg Pak's Action Comics run, and he also did Death of X. He's a brilliant artist, and he's doing the space stuff really well. So support that. There's also Jim Starlin's doing a mini-series in a minute, Guardians of the Galaxy Weekly, or on issue 2.
Alright.
Alan Davis art, classic Guardian stuff, brilliant. Main movie team, look like the movie. Pip the Troll turns up, it's always fun. We love a bit of Pip the Troll. Classic Jim Starlin stuff, it's all good. And there's also Rocket issue 1, go by that, because that's very good, Al Ewing. There is a I'm Groot book starting soon, which is a Baby Groot solo book, which probably is not going to be great, but we'll see. We'll talk about it next episode. No, probably not next episode, it's out next month, so it'll probably be in a few episodes' time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. Meanwhile, X-Men books, just briefly, since the last episode, Jean Grey issue 1 came out.
Incredible.
That's fun. Go read that. Just trying to think what else to tell people to read.
Blue Over Gold.
Old Guard. Go pick up Greg Rucka's Old Guard. It's very good. X-Men Blue over X-Men Gold, definitely.
Yeah.
Don't bother with Weapon X, especially if you don't like crossovers, because it's about to go into a crossover. Already? Yeah, it's going into a crossover with Totally Awesome Hulk.
Of all things to cross over with, I wouldn't.
They're gonna make a Wolverine Hulk.
We're ending the show there. We're just ending the show there.
Wolverine Hulk. Hulkerine. Everybody's favourite green. Are they rodents? They're not rodents.
What, Wolverines?
No. They can't be rodents. They've got to be like badgers.
They are. They're part of the badger. They're part of the badger. I can't remember what they're called.
All new Wolverine was out this week. That was good.
I have got it there ready to read. Yeah.
That's good.
Actually, out of curiosity, if I type
however, it's still got Ironheart in it. And
that's quite interesting. That when you do type in Wolverine, you get the Marvel character before the animal.
Oh yeah. Because people don't even know that Wolverine's a real animal. They think he's based on a wolf.
Oh yeah, here it is. A stocky, muscular, carnivorous mammal that resembles a small bear. Otherwise known as skunk bear. Glutton,
Skunk bear.
Carcajou.
Is that like the tanuki, the raccoon dog?
Yeah. The largest land-dwelling species of the family Mustelidae. So there you go.
I think if I ever write a Rocket Raccoon book, I'm going to introduce a character called Torpedo Tanuki.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And that's going to be his arch nemesis.
Or Tanuki Tank.
I'd love to write a Guardians of the Galaxy book.
It would be quite fun.
I'm going to work on one.
We'll get back to you on that one.
We should probably wrap up there.
So, thank you all for watching and listening. And both, actually, yeah. We both now.
It does go on YouTube. Not that there's any video. It's just a picture of a blue screen with Comics Relaunched written on it.
We might get some visuals at some point.
Yeah, I'm thinking of planning, like I said a couple episodes ago, that I'm planning on doing a Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends wrap-up. I'm planning on filming that, if I can get the equipment. Probably not. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
And again, we're still thinking about the live streams and face cams and stuff like that.
Fuckload of crane flies in my room. So I need to sort that out.
Right, so we'll leave it there. So thank you for listening, and we will be back again quite soon with another
Ta lads.
Comics Relaunched. Bye bye.